Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Inner Conquest, the world's greatest modern metaphysics channel. I'm your host, Jacob Edens, and today we are coming to you live from the snuggly green blanket. Welcome to the best modern metaphysics channel in the entire world. So, the reason we are having this video recorded live from the Casa de Jacob is we're going to discuss the understanding of how you awaken to things, okay? I would like to share with you some of my backstory of how I got into these things, because in essence, who I am as an individual is a frat bro. What I like to do is I like to drink with my friends, I like to play video games, and I also like to fuck off in a general sense in terms of what I like to do with my daily prioritization. If I had to choose from a menu of different items of what you could do every day, I would hang out with my friends, chase girls, and go do whatever I wanted to do. So why does an individual of that caliber like to talk about things such as metaphysics, what happens after death, and how we got to be in the current situation that we are? Well, I'd like to enlighten you. So, when I was younger, I grew up knowing deep in my gut there was something about this place that was not right. There was something about this place that was off. There was a feeling, an intangible sensation that made me question the very nature of the reality within which we exist, which, if you were in a true reality, you would understand that reality is reality, and you wouldn't have an inkling of discontentment. So with that inkling of discontentment, I went through my life and I basically went through all of the processes and protocols that a normal human being would go through. And you go through school, you go through extracurricular activities, you go through career selection. Additionally, you go through all of the different hoops and obstacles that you deem as necessary for you to have what you could call a fulfilled life. But a fulfilled life from a dimensional standpoint of this place is to go through the motions until you wither and die, and that's it. Unacceptable. It is not acceptable to me to live a life in which you have no contextual understanding of how the realm within which you exist operates. And anytime you try to ask too many questions about how this realm operates, you are met with fierce resistance from individuals who have no understanding of the realm itself, telling you not to push on how this place works. Unacceptable, okay? So, as I got older and I got wiser and I got more involved with this place, I began to understand that something was fucking off with this entire reality. And it was not okay for me to let that slip by, okay? So I know that many of you who watch this channel have the same inkling in your gut of something is off about this place. Something about this place doesn't make sense. It's like if you're playing a game and somebody keeps cheating, you're like, hold on, what the fuck? Okay? So as you have that inkling, you begin to, what you could call, question your external reality. You begin to go, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I doing this thing? Why did I get here? Who am I? I don't have any memories. Why don't I have any fucking memories of why I got here? Why don't I have any contextual understanding of this place? And why does nobody else know what's happening? And also nobody else is asking the same questions that I'm asking. It's infuriating. So as you go through that process, you begin to realize that something is off with this place. And then you begin to realize that things are not as they seem. So as you go down that rabbit hole, you get led down a sequential sequence of events that will begin to reveal the truth of how this place operates. And what I will tell you in simple terms of what I have come to understand through my experience of this quest, if you want to treat it like a video game, like Skyrim or something like that, is that this place is a created reality, okay? What else is a created reality? A video game. What else is a created reality? A movie. What else is a created reality? A play. What else is a created reality? Anything within the contextual confinements of those three things you could consider a created reality. Okay? So if you understand that this place is a created reality, you can begin to understand there is a creator. And a creator is someone or something that creates realities. Now, if you understand that you are a student of something such as law of attraction, law of assumption, law of reversibility, any of these immutable laws within which we can play within to create the reality that we want, you understand that you are also a creator, okay? So what happens when you're in a created reality, but you forget that you are also a creator? You begin to worship the creation. In the same way that if I took a person and I wiped their memories and I gave them a new name and I put them into a environment in which they are unaware of how they got there or who they are, and then I began to indoctrinate and or program that individual into believing what they think I want them to think, they would become, in essence, what I want them to become. Understand? So, as you wake up, you will understand that not only is this place created, you are a creator, but you have two severe disadvantages that have been laid upon you. Number one, you don't remember who you are. You don't remember, number two, that you are in a creation. Number two, you don't remember that anything that you entertain in your mental space is a blueprint reality to be externalized in an external world. Why does this reality have things that are called programming? Programming, the morning programming. Did you catch the morning program? Did you catch the evening program? Did you catch the afternoon program? The reason that these programs are installed is because these programs are not of themselves powerful. The programs need your attention, awareness, focus, and acceptance of them to come into reality. If you reverse engineer that understanding, you will understand that these programming mechanisms are reliant on your power. The same way in which you inhabit your body, you are the power source of your body. If you leave your body right now, you are killing your body. If your soul leaves your body, how effective is your body? If your loved one leaves their body, do you love their body the same way that you loved their body when they were in that body? No, because you love the individual that was in the body. You do not love the body. The body is a vehicle for the soul. So anything that is needing your attention and or trying to capture your attention and or needing you to accept it and or believe it is a process or a protocol that is dependent on you energizing and creating it. The reason that you must understand that is because you are a creative engine. Your soul is similar to the sun. If you withdraw the sun from plants, plants die. So plants are dependent on the sun. Everything in your localized atmosphere is dependent on you being there to observe it and help create it as a reality. You must understand that this place is dependent on you. You are a power plug for this reality. You are a source of life, intention, energy, power, wisdom, and love for this reality. And if you don't understand that, then other things and or entities will come and work to take that power and divert its focus into what they want to create. And As you become awake, you understand that that is not tolerable to a conscious creator. You are conscious. What does conscious mean? Conscious means awake. What does awake mean? It is the antithesis of sleep. What does sleep mean? To be dormant. What does dormant to be mean? It means not being able to work and operate of your own volition. When you think of consciousness, you think of enlightenment. You think of light. The middle of enlightenment, if you break apart the word structure, is light. What does light do? You go into a room, you flip the light switch, now you can see clearly. Why does it matter to see clearly? Because if you're walking through a room and your goal is to not stub your toe and the room is full of Legos and the lights are off, all you will do is walk into the Legos. If you turn on the light, you will be able to see every Lego and avoid every Lego. So the premise of mastery in this reality is first awareness, because if you are aware, you can accurately discern the terrain in which you are operating and then make educated decisions based off of truthful and accurate information that will lead to success. So what you are doing in this process is first off becoming aware. You are becoming aware of the terrain. The terrain is rocky. The terrain is scandalous. The terrain is dangerous. But as you become aware, you can now see clearly in front of you and you can make motions that are accurate and effective. If up into this point you have made motions that are ineffective and inaccurate, you have not been aware of the terrain. So as you wake up, which is coinciding with being aware, which is coinciding with turning the lights on, you are now becoming fully developed as a realized individual. What you want to understand, number one, is that you existed before you came into this reality. Number two, this reality is not your true home. This is not where you emanate from. So if you feel disconcerted, I hope that's a word, probably not. If you feel not well in this reality, or you feel like this reality is not welcoming to you, it is because it is not. It is not your true home. It is not where you originate from. You did not originate from some tadpole's balls who evolved into a fucking kangaroo and now you're you. It's not true. You are a soul that originated from all that is, of what you could call God, which is also what you could call source, which is also what you could call unconditional love. You came to a place that is designed to mimic the antithesis of what you are. Everything in this place that shows you a reflection is the exact fucking opposite of what you actually are. Oh, I want $1 million. Where's my fucking $1 million? It's not here. The real you can have whatever it wants. That's why it's so fucking frustrating when you get something or want something here to show up the way that you want it to, and it doesn't. The reality is designed to be the antithesis of what you actually are. And once you understand that, you realize what you actually are, which is insane to think about from a human standpoint. You are the inheritor of massive power. You are the inheritor of godlike creative abilities. Really, it's unbelievable. So, long story short, if you feel that this place is not where you belong, it's because it's not, in the sense that it's not your real home. In the same sense that if you're a seahorse, you belong in the sea. But also, contextually, to oppose that viewpoint, you must understand that you are never a slave. You were never an individual who was coerced, tricked, or made to come to this place. You chose to come here. The reason that you chose to come here is because you rank among the stronger souls in existence. You are a strong individual. And I'm not talking to you who's watching this video thinking that oh, this is an interesting video. I might check this out and see if I can manifest my F350 or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. I am talking directly to your soul, the real you, the motherfucking eternal thing that's inside of you. That thing, motherfucker, listen, here, now. You came here because you're a fucking monster. You're a fucking monster. Think about a game where you come into a game where you lose your memory and you have to go through the entire game without your memory. You got to remember who you are. 99% of the time, you don't even accomplish that. You have a goal to come in here to do. 99% of the time, you don't even do that. And you just fucking die in sadness. But you said, I like those odds. I'll come here and I'll fucking crush. That's the type of individual you are. You are a monster. Fucking crazy type shit. So anything in this world that tries to demean you or make you feel less than or try to implicate you as unworthy or invalidate you as something that cannot do what he or she wants to do, it's a fucking lie. You are a extremely powerful being. You are not just consciousness within a reality, working its way through, trying to figure this thing out. You're the dictator of reality along with everybody else. And I use the word dictator strongly. To dictate is to emanate, to precede reality with your beingness. You are someone who is able to construct realities through their will. You understand? Realities in which all of us inhabit. That is who you are, and that is who you will always be, and it cannot be changed. Your creative faculty emanates from you because you are the source of power and wisdom and love in your own local ecosphere. It is your right to conquer this place and build it into a heaven. That is your destiny. Your destiny is not to worry about some small trite thing of somebody offending you or some shit about a house or a bill or whatever. It's not important. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't hold weight to who you actually are. It doesn't make a difference to your existence. You're more than that. You're much, much more than that. And not only are you more than that, you're integral to reality itself. Because without you to be a participant in any circumstance, there is no circumstance. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever allow yourself to be stooped to a low position of a pauper or of a beggar or of a placant individual who needs something outside of themselves to be fulfilled when you are the creative genesis of reality. You are not here to suffer and die. You are here to conquer and win because that is your true nature. Not because you have an offshoot of victory or conquest, but because you are a victor and you are a conqueror. And the second that you think against that, you think in alignment with this place, which is designed to make you think that which you are not. And it is intolerable at this point in time, when everything's so silly and messy, to not be who you actually are. You cannot allow fear to enter your mind. You cannot allow doubt to enter your mind. You cannot allow double-mindedness to overcome you. When you are the power source that you always have been, you must rise above every single circumstance. You must rise above every single challenge. You must rise above every single thought, every single unwanted emotion, every single unwanted identity, and you must craft yourself into the master crafted being that you design because you designed it for no other reason, for no other purpose other than you decide that you choose to emanate yourself in this reality as an exceptional being because you are nothing less than exceptional. This reality will succumb to those who understand that they are more than just a body. You are in the body. You are more than the body. You cannot die. You're in a fucking vehicle and it's all good. Now, as you understand that contextually, you can play within that framework at a much higher level. As you play at that framework in a higher level, you begin to unlock different dormant parts of yourself that will allow you to enjoy this game to the nth degree. You think making money's cool? You think fucking getting a vacation's cool? Imagine having the creative ability to create reality with your fucking mind. Any reality that you want, the way that you want it, in harmony and benefit with those around you. Any fucking reality. Just because you will it into existence. It changes the parameters of the game. And it relieves the stress of this place, the chronic stress of not knowing, the confusion, the forgetfulness. You have to remember that you are it. You're it. You are the power source. And as you come into that power, your life can get a lot better. And so, I know you have what it takes to overcome any of these things. Because these things are just crystallized fucking points of awareness that you were asleep and you accepted as true and you focused on them and you put some emotion into them and you fucked up your world and your reality because you're super powerful, but like a monkey with a gun, you're gonna shoot everybody. So who gives a fuck? You can fix it hold on, that's inaccurate. You can fix it instantly through the assumption that it's already fixed. And the reason you have doubt is because you were programmed in a place where you had your memories wiped. And that's not even your doubt. That's somebody else's doubt that got plugged into your mind with energy, emotion, and intention. And you accepted it as true because you didn't have the faculties and the defense mechanisms to disengage it, and it accrued interest over time as you re-energized it. But who gives a fuck? Because it has no bearing on who you actually are. In the same way that the duck who gets covered in oil when it's washed off in Dawn soap is no less of a duck just because it's in oil. It's still a motherfucking duck, right? You can never change that it has a bill and it's a fucking duck, even though it's covered in oil. And once it gets cleansed, it's just a duck that can work like a duck. So start being the duck that works like a duck. The duck doesn't need any oil on it to be a duck. The duck doesn't need to figure out strategies in the future to fucking not get oil on it, because if it gets oil on it, it doesn't change the fact that it's still a duck. And the best part of it is you're not a fucking duck. You're a creator with the power of God in your mind. You have the power and source of this entire construct flowing through every cell, in every thought process, in every single intention that you set to a level and degree that when you state something, this place reverberates and respects it and bows down and reflects it because of who you are. Not because of what you've done or what you've earned or what you've tried to do or circumnavigate or whatever. Because of who you are. If you think of purple elephants every day, purple elephants populate your reality. Fucking ridiculous to think that this reality responds to something as silly as that. So when you entertain less than ideal things, this universe will reveal to you less than ideal things. So only entertain the best. Only imagine the best. Only be the best. Only conquer as yourself, because your innate capacity is that of more than a conqueror. It is a creator. It It is a dominator of reality. And remember that unconditional love is your ideal true frequency. Nothing is more powerful than that, and everything bows to that. Anything outside of that is for a temporary experience, and highlight the word temporary because it falls away. Anything outside of unconditional love is worth exploring in terms of a temporary experience, but in of itself, it cannot last because it is not your true essence. So, more important than any of this, I love you very much. Understand that you have every faculty within you to not just conquer this place, but to thrive, to dominate, to excel, to lead as the leader that you were meant to be in a capacity that you know you have innately within you. And don't let anything external to you ever impress itself into your mind without your consent, because that is your God-given right to discern what you decide to bring into reality through your own experience and your own will. So, with that being said, go conquer, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.